So, hi everyone. We welcome you to the new and innovative program organized by AYMSI, Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry chapter. This is going to be a little different from the other programs. This is called Max Facts Talk with Dr. So and so. This is a brainchild of Dr. Jimson, the General Secretary. And how is it going to be different? We are not going to discuss anything about the subject, not much about the subject, and surely not about the COVID-19 infection, which is the talk of the town today. So, what are we going to do? We are going to interview senior and successful oral and maxillofacial surgery practitioners so that we can gain some information how they suffered or struggled in life or how they made a strategy to become a successful practitioner. This information is really going to be interesting and useful for the younger generation oral and maxillofacial surgeons today. So today we start the program. I am Dr. Suresh Kumar. I practice in Chennai, and the person whom I'm going to interview is the stalwart in OMFS in Madurai. So having said stalwart, Madurai, OMFS, you all know who is it going to be. It is none other than Professor Dr. Prabhu, the oral and maxillofacial surgeon at Madurai. Sir, welcome, sir. Good evening to the program.
Thank you for inviting me to this new innovative thing of Dr. Jimson, but for an old man.
So that's what we need, sir, the experiences.
Yes, correct. We must thank the AYMSI, Tamil Nadu branch. I think this was started by me and George Paul way back. It's now more than 15 years old, Tamil Nadu AYMSI. And I'm very happy that Jimson and the team are doing extremely well on this webinars. And not only that, they have done a lot of innovative things. One among that is this. Thank you, Jimson.
Yes, sir. Sincerely, thank you for accepting for this program and allocating time
Suresh,
for us.
And you are going to be my interviewer. And I knew, I think, way back when you were a BDS student at Madurai.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you used to come to Madurai and work with me. That's still green memories. Yeah.
Exactly, sir. So, in 1994, my first government posting was at GH Arupukote. So I was searching for a good oral surgeon. I was only BDS at the time, but I wanted to work with some oral surgeons. So when I asked, everybody said your name only. So I used to travel from Arupukote to Madurai, which is only 1 hour. And really happy at that time, sir. Thank you so much. Those are green memories. We'll pass on to the interview session, sir. There will be some simple questions about your OMFS career. Nothing else, sir.
Good.
So, question number 1. So, how did you choose oral and maxillofacial surgery as your specialty? Because at the time, if I remember, Dr. Rangachari, Dr. B.P. Rajan, they were very popular. So, if you had to choose the best branch, you would have chosen conservative dentistry or orthodontics. But how did you end up choosing oral and maxillofacial surgery?
When basically till the 3rd year, 4th year, we were not choosing branches because we didn't. Most time, the postgraduate taking up, the students taking up postgraduate studies are very, very less in number.
Okay, I know.
And as you said that the stalwarts like B.P. Rajan and Professor Rangachari, all, they are there. But the moment we looked at Dr. C.K. Dhanasekaran, I changed my mind on the 4th year, pre-final year. Moment I saw him, the way in which he speaks, the way in which he was operating, and I had a chance to work with Dr. K. Ramachandran. He's another FDSRC's, oral surgeon of those days. I was assistant during my surgery. So both these, I had the chance to work with both of them, and it was Dr. C.K. Dhanasekaran who pushed me to the oral surgery. I basically wanted to be a surgeon before joining BDS. Because I couldn't get my MBBS, I joined BDS and succeeded in getting maxillofacial. That time it was only oral surgery, MDS oral surgery. And I wrote my medal examination in final year, oral surgery medal examination. and I was awarded oral
Final
surgery medal.
BDS.
Yeah, final
Oh,
BDS.
that's
I
great,
got my
sir.
oral
Great.
surgery medal. Then there is no other testing because the oral surgery, and that time they used to recognize the academic excellence. And Dr. Ramchandran said, K. Ramchandran said, you must join
Yes.
oral surgery. And I went and met Dr. Dhanasekaran
Oral
sir,
Yes, sir.
CKD sir,
Yes, sir.
and he said, yes, come, we will join. No, it is not we will join. We will train you. That was the word he told me.
Train
And I
you. Yes,
joined
sir.
Max. Yeah. He used to tell, I
Yes.
have to train you. He trained me in everything, not only in
Yes, sir.
subject.
Yes, sir.
He trained me in
Yes, sir.
this thing. There are a lot of other things he supported me. So I had to, rely on him. And I was very proud. Immediately after my examination, Dr. B.P. Rajan called me, what, Junior CKD, how are
Yes, sir.
you? Because I used to look like him, the same habits what he had. And that is how I took my oral surgery.
Sir, another surprising thing is, I want to ask you, like, everybody wanted to settle down in Chennai after the PG.
Yes.
Why did you choose Madurai as your practicing station? Because that is a smaller town at the time. So, why was it chosen by you at the time, sir?
Yeah, before I finished my MDS, there were 7-8 people senior to me working in government hospital. That time it was Tamil Nadu, the dental wing of MMC. That time, 7 people, and Dr. B. Srinivasan was working in plastic surgery department.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All of them were at Chennai, and Dr. Dhanasekaran was to leave for Libya. And by the time Dr. Beg sir has already left for Libya.
Okay.
That time sir was there, CKD was there. And
Yes,
the first advice Dr. CKD gave it to me was, you should not stay back here. You must go out and work. If you want any help and training, come. You must go out, because here you can only hold retractors. There you can go and operate. So I was trying to enter the government hospital, but one of my colleague, he got the thing through pull and push. So I couldn't enter into the dental department. So immediately I thought the next city was Madurai or Salem, because Salem was my hometown. But I got Madurai. And after when I came to Madurai, when I was coming to Madurai, Dr. CKD gave me a letter to one of the plastic surgeon, a stalwart plastic surgeon, Dr. Samsi Bose, who helped me.
Yes, sir.
So I took it and handed it over to him and stuck in Madurai. And of course, I did not do a mistake in my life. Coming out of Chennai, joined at Madurai.
So I think that was the right suggestion by Professor Dr. CKD to make you go to Madurai. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, next question is, I think when you joined Madurai, you would have been very young. So how did the other specialty people, like especially ENT and plastic surgery doctors, accept you, whether they were trying to help you or they were trying to discourage you? Because we always had this problem with the ENT and plastic surgery doctors. So what was your experience at the time when you were young?
Luckily, when I entered Madurai on 23rd July 1979, I took the lecture and gave it to doctor. At that time, I was only 27 years old.
Yes, sir, I know.
Immediately after my BDS, I finished my MDS, passed all my thing through. So I was only 27 when I entered Madurai Medical College. I went and gave the letter to Professor Samsi Bose. Samsi Bose was a plastic surgeon. He was very kind that time. They said, can you operate?
Okay.
First thing I told him, sir, I know the subject, but I don't know I have the quality to operate. You have to train me. That words did definitely this thing, because he said somebody when he's ready to get trained by him, and I got trained by him. But more than that, there was a department of surgery. They sent a case for dental extraction.
Okay.
So in the case sheet, they had written, please, not even
okay.
please, do dental extraction. It was a case of carcinoma. Carcinoma alveolus mandible. So they said,
Okay.
do dental extraction. So in the case
Yes,
sheet, I
sir.
wrote that what treatment you are contemplating. Are you going to do resection or are you going to irradiate? If you are contemplating surgery, please remove it en masse. If you are going to radiate, kindly send the patient 3 days before the radiation. Otherwise, this will disseminate, extraction will disseminate cancer cells elsewhere. I wrote it and sent. The professor of surgery, Dr. T. Subramaniam, was there. He called me. I said, nobody has written it like that so far. Then I told him that I had done my oral surgery, trained by so and so. And that's why, sir, I just wanted to, because postgraduates are there, and so I wanted to send it. He liked that. Then the next case of hemimandibulectomy, he called me to operate. So I went there to there. I told them that, sir, I know theory.
Okay.
I am not well versed with these surgeries because I'm just a fresh MDS graduate. So he sent me with one of the senior assistant
Yes, sir.
surgeon, Dr. V. Satyavan. He is a great man here now. And he is the one who has really trained me surgically. I mean, after my MDS, this thing, he was, he trained me for everything. Basically, I was a cancer surgeon those days. Then for the maxillectomy thing, I went right. Yes, I mean, I used to get into the surgeries. I go watch, take a book, read, go and try everything on the way. Those days we can try at government hospital. Now it is difficult. So I went and met the ENT surgeons there, and they called me for maxillectomy, and they saw me doing the way in which I did the surgeries and other things. Then for every maxillectomies, I used to join the ENT team, and they are same way here. If I get a case, but thing is, I had been given permission by Dr. Vanaja Madam. She was the head of the department here. So she used to say that if you want to go and operate, go and operate. So I used to go and operate. So I mean that I must be thankful to her also for giving me permission to go and work with others. I was a junior that time. I was the assistant surgeon, and he helped me. She helped me. I'm sorry, and that's how the ENT surgeons came in. The plastic surgery, mostly they used to call me for fracture wiring. Those days were only wiring. So I used to go there for do the wiring and TM joint surgery. Gap arthroplasty. We used to use chisel only. There is no motor, there is no micromotor, nothing. We used to use a chisel. We used to break skulls, skull bases, all these things. But I used to go there with the plastic surgeon. They are very soft, and I was very harsh. So both united, and then we succeeded in getting things. And that I was the only surgeon going around that time. There are nobody else except Dr. Madam. Madam was here and there, Madras and Madurai, and so I used to go and work with these people. I never had a problem with anybody. And my private thing also was helped by mostly by the medical fraternity, then the dental fraternity. Those days. That is how I succeeded in my surgical things. And the pure surgical craft was taught to me by the Dr. P. Subramaniam and V. Satyavan. And there was one postgraduate, Dr. Sivakumar, of my age. I used to play cricket. I was Madras Medical College cricket player, and he was Madurai Medical College cricket player. So we met each other, and he used to help.
Okay. Yes, sir. So it looks like you had a very great rapport from ENT and plastic surgery. In contrary to what we expect, they will be rivals to us. So
till now, I never oppose anybody. You want to do
that, sir, actually.
I never go into their border. They never come to my border. Even now.
Yes, sir. That's a great thing to do, actually. So it's interdisciplinary.
That was the advice given to me by Dr. Dhanas CKD when I met him after I joined here. And when there was a thing that going on between plastics and dental, I'm sorry, the maxillofacial surgeon. He said you should know your boundary. I never crossed that line.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so we'll pass on to the next question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir.
Please.
So everybody knows you are a very bold surgeon. I also have
Hmm.
seen you operating. I also know you are a very bold surgeon. So in 1994 itself, when I visited your clinic, I saw a lot of orthognathic surgery on your office table, which are planned for surgery, which had splints also. So I want to know, how did you collect the strength to do orthognathic surgery at that time period itself, with minimal training, with minimal support at that time?
Yeah, that is a thing that basically again from Dr. CKD. He used to read Cunningham's and come before he does this surgery. He
Yes,
used
sir.
to read and come and do the surgery. The same way, the
Okay.
first orthognathic surgery I saw was with the big electrical motor. One PG has to hold it, and then he used to cut the thing with the burr and this thing. There was no micromotors and those things those days. We used to use
Yes, sir.
that
Yes,
huge
sir.
wolf engine, that thing, wolf motor that is. That you somebody
Yes,
has
yes,
to
yes.
carry it on the shoulders and he used to operate. So when
The PGs.
he can do that, yeah, but when during my days,
Yes, sir.
the micromotors have come.
Okay, okay,
That
okay.
time, when I was working in '94 and all, we had micromotors. I forgot the
Yes,
name
sir.
of the company. I think it was one of the good companies,
Yes,
the
sir.
greenish motor. That is the one, Kevo motors.
How? Yes, sir. How?
That big motors that is. But the thing,
Yes,
we can
sir.
keep it on the table. So we used to
Okay.
do only segmental osteotomy and
Yes,
some genioplasty and those things. I
yes,
was
sir.
not doing any sagittal splits, Lefort one. That is
Okay.
after Varghese Mani's phase, Dr. Kishore Nayak and Gunaseelan, they started the phase, this thing. Only after that,
Yes,
we
sir.
started doing. In fact, the first Lefort one was done by Varghese Mani at Madurai. When I was going to operate at
Yes, sir. Oh, okay.
one of the hospitals, Varghese wanted a case because he came here for a symposium.
Okay.
And he took it and then showed me how we should do it.
Yes,
Luckily,
sir. Yes,
it was one of the this thing I can assist him. And then after that, once you know the procedures, maybe it may take long time, but we did it. And that made it. And again, it was done at the government Rajaji Hospital. Not the Lefort ones,
Oh, okay.
the previous
Okay.
ones.
Okay. The
By the time
segmental ones.
91, I had come out of here. 91, I have come out of the hospital. They
Yes, sir.
transferred
Yes,
me
sir.
elsewhere. I had a good practice.
Yes, sir.
I didn't want to go out and then settle here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But it was very surprising to me to see so many orthognathic models on your table in 1994. Very elaborate, at least 3-4 cases you were having. So I was very, very surprised at that time, sir.
Yeah, that was the time that I was probably monopolizing oral surgery outside Chennai, in this
Yes.
southern Tamil Nadu, not at
Yes, sir,
eastern
exactly.
Tamil Nadu. There, I think George Paul and all others were there. In this part, because
Yes,
there
sir.
were not youngsters, but now there are very good youngsters there. And I was the only fellow. After me, the Gnaneshwaran came, and then Dr. Venkatachalapati came,
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
they started doing it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But still, I think you are the inspiration for them.
Maybe this side.
Yes, sir. So, most challenging or most interesting to you, 1 or 2 cases in your experience?
The most challenging case was a big tumor in the left maxilla extending to the orbit. I'm telling you, 30 years back, not now. That was it started bleeding, and to arrest that bleeding, it became a horrible thing, and we had to do maxillectomy with externation. 30 years back, it was a very, very difficult
Okay, orbital
with orbital extension. That was the one. The second thing was,
yes, sir.
yes, in
sir.
Madurai, that festival, Alagar festival will go on.
Yes, sir.
This
yes,
time
sir.
only, but this year it did not happen. They used to sleep under the cart. The bulls will pull the cart on its own. Oh. These fellows used to sleep at the back.
Yes, sir.
under the cart. So on a gunny bag. So this gunny bag.
Okay.
And one fellow fell down. The cart coming at the back run over him. So that was a crumbled maxilla, mandible, zygoma, everything. It was a panfacial fracture around 32 years back that time. I didn't know what to do with that. And I don't know how to, I mean, correct that. The mandible, I did
Yes,
a
sir.
transosseous wiring. And for the maxilla,
Okay.
those days I used to put a plaster of Paris head cap with 2 bolts, use a
Suspension.
cycle force
Yes, sir.
suspension, transbuccal cheek wiring. Transbuccal cheek wiring indigenously made,
Yes.
that put,
Yes,
and
sir.
for the zygoma,
Yes, sir.
whatever, luckily the frontal bone was left, so I
Sir.
did put a transosseous wiring with the zygomatic arch and this. And the fellow became all right, and he had a good face for that.
Okay.
That was the first pan facial which I did with the limited resources, and he's all right.
Okay.
And that's it.
Yes,
I mean,
oh,
that
that's
was
a
a good
great thing. Yes,
experience.
sir.
The another one was
Yes, sir.
a simple case which made me popular. One of the VIPs met with an accident near Andipatti. A police official, I think Jimson should know him, Walter Devara.
Okay. Okay. Sir, everybody knows,
He-
sir.
That he had a bad accident near Theni, and that time
Oh.
his mandible got turned up. The tongue was on the throat, so he was not able to breathe. He was gasping. We were rushed in from a private hospital. It was, I think, 94,
Oh.
93, 94, 95. We were rushed to
Okay.
that spot. Then I saw that he was gasping and the tongue was, I wanted to see the tongue. The
Falling
tongue was
back.
not there.
Son.
So there were no gloves, nothing. So I pulled the mandible to its position. The tongue came out,
Okay.
and there was
Okay.
a gushing of air, and he survived. And he had given me a
Okay.
letter for my presence of mind, put us some wire in between the teeth, and then we sent him to Chennai for further surgery. And that
Further
was one of the,
treatment.
I mean, the remembering thing which I had in my life.
Yes, sir. That was a very timely treatment which saved his life, I think. If you
Yeah,
had
that
not
is
done
what
it,
he
I
has
think.
written the same thing.
Yes, sir.
Your
Yes, sir.
presence of mind saved me.
Yes, sir. Great, sir. Okay. So regarding the patient's attitude now, because when you were practicing, you are almost practicing for about 4 or 5 decades.
40 years now.
40 years. So initially, when we are telling some treatment to the patients, they were trusting us and they were accepting for treatment. But nowadays, I think when they come itself, they come with a Google printout. They know what is the diagnosis. They have treatment alternatives discussed already with 2-3 doctors. So, what do you think, sir? Is it
That
good
was
or
only, I was the only guy. So whatever I'm telling to them was the gospel. So they
yes,
had
sir.
to listen to me. After the
Exactly.
second and third person came, they had an alternative. They can go to them.
Okay.
So suppose you
Okay.
say it was only a body osteotomy in the mandible, and he'll say there is no body osteotomy. You can let that is better thing that sagittal slit is there. So definitely he'll let the patient has to think. He'll go into now goes into the nets, and then I mean the Googles and other things.
Yes.
They see that,
Okay.
they come back, and most of them are literates now. When I came here, most of my patients were, I mean, they were not that much educated. Most of them in the government hospital. Even now, you have worked in the government hospital. They are
Yes, sir.
very poor guys come and they believe you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
I know.
that belief
Yes, sir.
is
They
not
trust.
there now. But I think only thing is your results.
Yes,
You,
sir.
if your answers are stubborn, I used to tell them, if you have 100% belief in me,
Yes, sir.
come to me. Even if you have 1%
Okay.
doubt, please go to somebody else. I am not after the patients. The patient should be after me.
Okay. Okay.
That is my advice. So if you have
Sir,
any belief in me, come. Otherwise, don't come. I am not for money.
correct. Yes,
That's all.
exactly. Okay. That's a good point. We'll take it up, sir. The next thing I want to ask you is, or at least in the initial stages, you are not convinced with the plating procedures. Very comfortable with plating.
Yeah, that is see, if you go through the history, it was the wiring,
Okay.
dental wirings, transbuccal cheek wirings, and all. I think
Yes.
probably you saw some of the maxilla fractures or the combined maxilla
Yes, sir.
mandible fractures.
Yes, sir.
This was the only procedures that we could do at that time because there was no plates available.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was working in a nursing home where there was a hand surgeon.
Okay.
So he used to operate when he was doing that time. That time it was, I mean, the distraction osteogenesis for fingers. So he used to give me the plates, that forearm plates. He used to ask me. He told me that these are the DCP plates, and then you can use it for mandible fractures.
Okay.
So that time he wanted
Yes,
to
sir.
move out from wiring, transosseous wiring or the intraosseous wiring or transosseous wiring.
Yes,
From
sir.
there we wanted, because we were that time previously there was nobody to take a knife and cut at Madurai, but I was the first floor to take a knife and cut.
Yes.
Maybe the second floor to
Sir.
take a knife and cut. So I wanted to do,
Yes, sir.
having read about plating, I wanted to do plating, but plates were not available. So I used to get plates from the forearm plates
Yeah,
from him,
handsets.
and but they are very, very thick.
Okay.
That
Yes, sir.
axial
I
compression
saw that.
system
Yes,
very,
sir.
very, very thick, and then it was there a big huge bulge. Even
Yes,
patient
sir.
can feel the plates. And
Yes, sir.
subsequently, when during the one of the conferences at Bangalore or Chennai, we bought
Yes, sir.
that Champy's plates. That was available that time.
Yes, sir.
And in '98, I went to Germany to a trauma center. I had a training with under a plastic surgeon there, because this chance was given to me by an orthopedic surgeon who came to Madurai, a Germany place called Ludenschied. So I went there, learned the thing from him. Then I came back and started doing the plating. Then from there, and that time I was only from the cancer surgery, I moved on to the trauma as a trauma surgeon. In fact, the trauma surgery gave me good results. Death rates were coming, mortality was less, and gave me money too. In my private, by that time I was become a full-time private practitioner. So that now I like to look after my family and things. I like to earn money.
So the next thing what I want to ask you is your secret of energy. So you always lived in a very small town in the southern part of Tamil Nadu, isn't it, sir? Madurai.
Yeah. Yes, only
But
Madurai,
yes, sir. But how did you become so popular throughout India? How did you achieve so many posts in MSI head office? Like you almost held all the valuable posts like editor, president, everything. So how was it possible to you, sir? How did you establish contacts?
Two things is, make your town popular. It is not that I wanted to become popular. George Paul used to say, I made Salem popular. The same way I made Madurai popular. That's all. The thing is, I had that chance.
Yes, sir.
I was operating, and then thing is,
yes, sir.
I used to attend conferences from 1992.
Okay.
All the conferences, I never miss a conference. By attending conferences, I made a lot of friends like Kishore Naik, Gunaseelan,
Okay.
George Paul, Varghese Mani, Sanjeev, Kritta, all.
Yes, sir.
I am just naming a few.
Dr. Neelam.
Everybody, Neelam Andrade from Bombay.
Everybody.
And
yes.
I mean, seniors in Pune, and many of them. And even the youngsters, I made them.
Yes.
And the first thing that made me more popular was a conference at Kodaikanal in 2002.
Oh, yeah.
You were a part
sir.
of
it that
time.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
that 2002, we had the record number of 534 people attending that. And we made good profit, more than the national conference, and gave it back to the association. That time the people knew, and usually you ask a lot of questions in the general body. Then the people know that we can.
Okay.
And with the help of the people I mentioned, George Paul and Kishore, Guna, Varghese, many others.
Yes, sir.
I mean, Kulkarni, Deepak Kulkarni, all these people. These are the people. Ashok Dabir. Those people helped me to climb in my this thing. And I never knew that I'll become an editor.
Yes.
That somebody has to take the secretary post, and somebody has to take the editor post, and then do the books, bring the books, I mean the journals correctly. So George asked me, sir, will you take up the editor post? Yes. And then I periodically release. I have not done anything like J.S.M. Balaji or Gunaseelan Rajan or Sanjeev Nair. I release the books on time. Every 3 months once you will have a journal. And the number of articles that coded. And that made me the secretary. Because of my thing, people knew now. And after the secretary, that then it has become, then I became the
president. Yes, sir. We are really proud about it, sir. Somebody from Tamil Nadu being so popular in the AOMSA head office we are really popular, and we really congratulate for
No,
the
that
achievement.
was the time I left my academic work and then became a politician in the OMSI.
So, what is your advice to the younger generation OMFS today? Because there is a generalized thought that the OMFS curriculum is saturated and there is no scope for OMFS surgeons. People think like that. So, what is your advice, sir?
You know that the council has made a lot of seats, and then the number of products of the oral surgery has become more number. And now, since everybody are operating, the number has come down. The small, I mean, the very, very simple things do not come to us now. Maybe complicated things might come to us.
Yes, sir.
But it does not matter. If you do a good work, not just do the good work, you'll have to publicize that. Sell your product. Once you sell your product, nobody can say.
Yes.
In trauma, whether it is a soft tissue or a hard tissue, in Apollo Madurai, they call me. There is no other company, I mean, the branches coming inside. They will call me and then I do it. Only thing is you have to sell your product. Just don't make money and keep quiet. You will have to, I mean, publicize that through some of the clubs, and then Rotary clubs, Lions Club. There's so many things. You will have to go out and give your good results. If you give good result, automatically they will recognize.
Yes, sir.
That is the thing.
Yes, sir. And OMFS for the younger people, younger generation today, and there is still scope. That's what even I believe. So I take it from you that way. Yes, sir.
You know, particularly the hard tissue part, I think, and in the trauma part, nobody can beat us. Have that confidence and go ahead and do it.
Yes, sir. And I have one last question. So, in spite of your busy schedule, you had kept your family also very happy. We all know that. So, how did you balance the family time and the profession? And do you have any suggestions for financial planning for the young OMFS?
That too at this COVID hour, yes.
Yes.
Thing is, you just don't go operate and then only surgery. No, you will have to relax. You will have to really relax. Work till sufficient today. Go and relax. Go to clubs, take your family out, and then do things. Then that is how that you will have to relax. Unless you relax, the stress will be there. You can only make money. You cannot spend your money. Unless you spend your money, you will not earn more. You will have to spend your money to earn more. Then only now that the reserve has come down, you'll have to earn. That is how your attitude will come and you'll start earning. But you will have to relax and work. That's why work while you work, play while you play. That is the real thing that I had followed all these years. I used to relax every day, and then I go play cards, this, that, everything, play bridge, everything. Even now I sit at home and then sit with people and then close my clinic at 8. I don't go till 11.
Yes.
That's how. Sir. And for the financial thing,
so that
always
is the secret.
Always save something. 10% of your earning, whatever it is, should go to the earning. I'm sorry, the saving. And that saving is that saving is the one which helped me in these 3 years. I'm sorry, 3 months.
Yes.
During this corona time.
Yes, sir.
The thing is, and that is why you can be safe. Even there is an emergency. I had 2 emergencies in my life. So even that time, they could look after us. So whatever it is, you are earning only 1,000 rupees, put 100 rupees. You are earning 1 lakh, put 10,000 rupees. So 10% of your saving. And in years, it will double. Put it in a fixed deposit, it will always double. Those days it was 12% interest. And within 6 months, within 6 years, it will double.
Yes.
Then again, so suppose you put 1 lakh, it becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16. So at the 28th year, you will have 16 lakhs in your hand. I'm just telling this statistics. Yeah. So always save something for the family.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So thank you very much, sir. It was very interesting.
You do not worry. Be bold.
Yes. Yes, sir.
and
Yes, sir.
give a good result. Automatically,
Yes, sir.
the result will look after you, and you will be
Definitely.
safe in your district. Best of luck to all youngsters, and thanks to the organization
Yes,
for
sir.
giving me a
Thank you
chance
so
to
much,
talk
sir.
to
Thank
the.
you. It's a privilege to the AOMSI. I thank you on behalf of AOMSI, sir. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Suresh. Thank you, Jimson.
Thank you, sir.